Hello and welcome to the next lecture. From here onwards we will start learning R programming. So firstly open RStudio on your PC. So once we start typing things into the R prompt, then we are going to start coding and doing the calculations. So the things that we type into the R prompt are called expressions. So for example, the symbol which looks like a left hand arrow and is actually the less than symbol is followed by a hyphen. This is what's called the assignment operator. The assignment operator is what assigns a value to a symbol. So for example, in this first expression here, the symbol that I am creating is called x, and the value that I am assigning is call and is 1. And so I use the assignment operator to create that. So x is 1, which is an R expression, and for the next expression I'm going to print that value. So print is a function and I am passing it the symbol x, so that when I print out x I get its value, which in this case is 1. So another thing to think about x is also considered an R object and is an numeric object that has one element. So it's really a numeric vector where the first element is the number 1. In the third expression here, you notice I am just typing x at the prompt, and when you hit enter, what happens is it prints out the value of x. So this is another way to print out an object without explicitly calling the print function. So in this expression over here, I am creating a new symbol called message MSG, and I am assigning it a value of the string hello. Alright, so now this is a character vector and the first element of this character vector is the string hello. I could add other elements to this vector if I wanted to, but they would all have to be a character. So the grammar of the language determines whether an expression is syntactically correct or not, or whether it's complete. So for example, by this type x followed by the assignment operator and I don't have anything else. That's not a complete expression, and so when I hit enter, nothing will happen because it's waiting for the expression to be completed. The other thing I have got here is this hash symbol here. So this hash symbol here, it indicates that everything to the right of that is a comment, and so the R engine will ignore anything that happens to the right of that symbol. So you can put things like comments or notes to yourself in code, and R will just ignore those comments. So once you have typed in a syntactically valid and complete expression at the prompt, when you hit enter, what happens is that the expression is evaluated by the R engine, and the result of that evaluation expression is then returned. And so sometimes when you evaluate an expression, nothing happens because there is nothing to really show. And so for example, in the first expression here, when I say x is assigned to be 5, so I am creating an object called x. It's a numeric vector and the first element is going to be 5. Now when I hit enter, nothing happens because there is really nothing to show. And so, but now when I hit x and I hit enter, it prints out the value of 5. So it prints out the value of x. So when I hit x, when I type in x and I hit enter, and it prints out 5, that's called auto printing. And so when you just type an object's name and hit enter, R will by default auto print the value of that object. This is the same as calling the print function on that object, which will just print out the value of that object. So you can explicitly print an object or you can auto print an object. So this is this sounds a little complicated, but it's really just the natural thing to do, and it is what most people would expect. You will notice that when I print out the object x, there is a little 1 in brackets here, and you might be wondering what that is. So all that indicates is that it's telling you what element of the vector is being shown, and this will make more sense when we have longer vectors to look at. But all this is saying is that the number 5 that you are seeing there is the first element of the vector. So for printing, you will see that here I am creating an x, an object called x, and it's the sequence 1 to 20. So the colon operator here that I have used is what's used to create a sequence. So when I say 1 colon 20, that creates a sequence of 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 20. So now when I auto print x in this case, you will see I've got a much longer vector here, In this case it's an integer vector, and you will see that the first line of the printout has 1 next to it because that's the first element, and then the second line has a 16 in brackets because that's the first element of that line is the 16th element of this vector. So it's all kind of straightforward, but just that's how the print out works. I will provide today's slides and some practice material for you to practice and get started with R programming in our today's blog post. See you in the next lecture.